It is fascinating. So do you believe in the idea of giving guys rest and saying you can't go out and play 12 minutes for Mark Giordano? Do you sit him out? Do you sit out Mitch Marner?
Yeah, I think I find a way to show everybody that as much as, we're enjoying this ride of Austin Matthews and can he get to 63, 65, 67, that I have to find a different way to show them that we're going to use these next 10 games to work on certain things, which could include that we may ask you to take a night off.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether or not you even go to Matthews and want to have that conversation.
Do you have to say anything to anyone? You're the coach or the GM. Say, you're not in tomorrow. See you next game. We're resting some guys. Why don't we listen to Sheldon Keefe talk about resting guys, and we'll carry on.
Yeah. Well, the conversations with the veterans are probably harder than anyone else because, as an example, you look out on the ice here right now, and Mark Giordano is the only defenseman on the ice skating, and it's because he feels that, in particular at his age, that the more he skates, the better he feels. The more he plays, the better he feels. And the more time away he takes, the body doesn't feel so good. It takes a while to get it back going. So the older players, Spez is the same way. Joe Thornton, when we had him here last year, same way. These guys want to keep moving, and they think it takes them longer to get fired back up again. So those conversations for those kind of guys are a little more difficult, but we do have to be smart about it.
Okay.
Fascinating.
Well, first of all, I get that you're soon to be 39, Gio, but you're not my dad's 1986 Honda Civic, where I got to plug in the block heater or else I got no chance of it starting tomorrow morning.
You know what, though? I didn't play at an older age. Is there something to the idea that you take a couple days off and it's worse for you? No,
I don't think it's just a night off. Like you can practice, you can ride the bike, you can lift weights. It's just a game off. So
yeah,
I don't
love that
necessarily
point. Don't overthink it.
I don't necessarily buy into the I can't start up again theory.
Gio's out there today. No one else is.
Right. So I know where that fine line is, and it's sometimes it can look at a strength or weakness on either side of where you stand on this.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to pick one, and you just stick with it.
I feel the same way Sammy does, that someone, not for the Leafs, but people are going to get hurt down the stretch. The less you play your guys, it's like the trade deadline. I know I want this guy available at a certain time. I know I've beat this drum, but it made me crazy when Patrick Marleau played game 82 for the Toronto Maple Leafs to keep his consecutive games played streak intact. That made me really mental. You're putting your personal thing in front of what's best for the team, which has arrested you. Yeah. And I don't want to see that if Matthews is chasing a goal record or Marner's chasing top
over,
5
though.
points.
In theory, it's over. So
no more milestones.
So, in all honesty, do we think 65? Do we think 63 would be really less appealing than 65 or 67? At the end of the day, it's just a number. It's like reading those free agent baseball players. Are you more impressed to hear that he signed for $311 million compared to $292? Is it not just the same?
Yeah, Aaron Judge. Greedy, looking for 300 schmil instead of 270.
Yeah, isn't it? After you're past a certain number, don't they all sound the same? Anyways, does it really matter if Austin finishes with 62 or 65?
You know who it matters to? The people in the YouTube comments and on Twitter to say to the other people, say, "Oh, you think Ovi's the best goal scorer ever?"
Yes.
Matthews has 66, so Ovi's never got past 65. That's what matters.
And get that conversation going again after you've got knocked out in the first round, because that will be your only saving grace in any conversation when it comes to the Toronto Maple Leafs. right?
Yeah. Daggers, Kyper.
It is
Daggers. The calls coming from inside the house.
Austin Matthews scoring 60 plus is a horrible constellation prize for Leaf fans if they get knocked out in the first round.
Right.
You with me, Sammy?
Yeah, but honestly, Leaf fans been through so much that getting 60 goals is a hell of a thing. That's something that I never pictured ever seeing a Toronto Maple Leaf do is score 60 goals. If they get put out, it sucks bad. And everyone was like, oh, yeah, do it in the regular season. Blah, blah, blah. I understand all that, but having the 60 goals, you can't take that away.
But it is not what Leaf fans first and foremost want.
No.
It is not sitting atop the mountain or the pecking order.
No, it's not. I don't know. I thought JD Bunkus made an interesting point to us earlier today when he said Leafs fans are afraid to celebrate regular season victories and good things because the playoffs. They don't want to be the person who over celebrated Matthews and then you get blown up in the first round again.
We had that conversation in October. Leaf fans have had that conversation.
But haven't they done enough to move it into beyond? They had a good year to a historic year. Can't it be relevant now that they're going to have 114 points when the Leaf season record is 105, or that Matthews has 62 goals when the franchise record was 54? These are amazing things.
Yeah, I know. And Tampa's got that going, and Florida's got that going, and there's
Tampa had 126 points the year they got swept in round 1 by Columbus.
So it's okay to say that you are amongst the top teams this year, and there is somewhere down the road there's a good pat on the back for that, but it won't come.
Sign your hat at an autograph session.
It won't come until after we see this thing played out this spring.
I feel like I want to play in these games because I'm so sick of hearing about how this Leafs team can't play in the playoffs and can't get past the first round, whatever. I can't imagine these guys must feel like Alaskan sled dogs. Let's just go. Let me go.
10 more games.
I know.
So mentally you do have to pace yourself a little bit here. And if you do see some guys in the next 10 games looking like, they didn't plug their car into warm up with their block heater.
Gio needs his block heater.
You might know why, because it is a long season and it's grinding right now. And because of the last pandemic shutdown, we're forced into another 2.5, 3 weeks here. Mm-hmm. And it does feel like, oh my God, this is the season that won't end.
So let's have Keith talk on that. Talk on Matthews and the Leafs being motivated.
I hadn't given it any thought, to be honest. I don't think Austin's need any extra motivation or fire lately. He's finding that himself, no matter who the opponent is. So I don't have any questions about whether or not he'll be ready to play tonight.
What about your team in general, having lost 2 in a row to them, including that outdoor game? How much motivation do you think that gives them?
Yeah, I mean, we're hopeful that is something that kind of sparks our guys here. These are the kind of games that can be challenging. We were just coming off clinching the playoff spot, and you got a non-playoff team coming in. But yeah, they've taken points from us for sure. We want to continue to refine our game. We think we're playing some of our best hockey this season right now. So lots of reasons for us to believe that we'll be better than we have been. But certainly these are the types of games that have been a problem for us. Not just against Buffalo, but others. So, like I said, I feel like our team's in a good spot right now.
Well, the good news is we said that